Hello, my name is Richard. I am a reserves officer here at Meeth Quarry Nature Reserve in North Devon. Today I was hoping to demonstrate how to do a correct coppice technique, so therefore felling technique on small diameter timber so as it will coppice back next year. So what is coppice and why are we coppicing? So the act of coppicing is cutting a tree back so as you get fresh shoots of this sort of size, come back afterwards and they grow back from the cut stump, and over time they grow up to being the full height. This is a really useful management tool because it allows us to create a diversity of tree heights across the landscape, which is good because it gives a diversity of ecological niches, like diversity of homes for different wildlife. And it also brings in, because it's a rotational thing, it brings a certain amount of dynamism into the landscape. So this means that we'll cut this year and then we'll come back in 3 to 5 years and cut it again, because this will have grown up, but then next year we'll cut that side and that will be at a different height. So it will give that beautiful diversity of, which is what we're looking for. We're looking for biodiversity. Why specifically this one I'm going to demonstrate. If you look at the block we're on at the minute, you can see there's a bit of a fairly straight line along the side, and we don't really like straight lines because there's no straight lines in nature. So by digging back in here a bit and taking these few out, that's going to create like a little wind shadow and a sun trap, which is going to be great for the species that Meeth is famous for. So Meeth is really good for wood white butterflies, dingy skippers, and a lot of floristic diversity as well, such as knapweed and stuff. And they require like sunny corners and a bit of dappled shade. And again, it's all about getting those different layers and textures through the landscape. So you get the more diversity of place means more diversity of things, which is great. So next I was hoping to actually demonstrate the correct technique to cut this in a way that will make sure it will grow back. First things first, you'll need the correct tool for the job. Today I'm using a small pruning saw because it's only a small diameter tree, and I'm wearing gloves and boots just for safety's sake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something called a step cut initially. This is where you cut one side of the tree and then the other side of the tree slightly raised, so as they meet in the middle, and then it controls the direction of fell. This is really important because you don't want to hit other people or other trees, and it allows you to put it where you want for stacking as well, which is really handy if you're trying to extract any like timber thereafter. And then once I've done that, I would do a finishing cut, which is where I put a slope on it. The reason for the slope is that if you have a flat stump, the water tends to sit on top of the stump, and that will slowly rot through and kill the stump over time, which is not what we want, because we want the stump to grow year on year on year, possibly indefinitely. So by putting a bit of a slope on it, it sheds the water, therefore helping preserve the stump a bit longer. So I'll just make a start on doing it. So yeah, first cut that side. Oh, it's worth saying as well, this time of year is quite late in the season to be cutting. I have already checked for birds' nests, but you should always check before you fell this time of year to make sure there's no birds' nests in there, especially given every year birds seem to be nested a little bit earlier. I don't know if it's something to do with climate change or what, but yeah. Worth a check. So that's the first cut, and then I'll do the second cut from behind. And I don't know if you can see on the camera, but that cut's there, and my next cut's about this height on the back. Now I've paused here because I can just feel it starting to go. So what I'll do is I'll gently tickle a bit more out. Then if I take the saw out, I should be able to gently guide this down, like so. And that's the step cut done. This is a bit easier to show what I meant by the step cut. So that was the first cut in there, stopped about there. And then this was the back cut from behind, stopped there. And if you look, they've just overlapped a little bit, which has meant that you've got this bit of holding wood down the middle, which is what allowed me to guide it the direction I wanted it. So that's the step cut bit, and then finally I'll do the finishing cut, which is what I was on about with the sloping. So I say as well, like as you go, give a little bit of pressure this way on the stump so it opens up the kerf, so as you don't get the saw stuck, especially this time of year, like it being late in the season, the sap's starting to flow a little bit. There, that should be enough. That's probably enough slope to shed the water. And that's hopefully it'll grow back from the cambium layer. So this bit around the edge is the only living bit of the tree. The middle bit's essentially dead wood. So yeah, it'll all grow back from this slightly darker line around the edge. Okay, cool. So now we felled that, we'll need to stack it out of the way. So like I was saying earlier about the benefits to ground flora, you get the most benefit for ground flora when you remove the cut material. So that's what we'll do. We'll process this into shorter lengths and put it on this brash pile here. So this brash pile here was started by our volunteers. We had them in to do some coppicing for us recently, and they've opened up quite a large expanse up through here, which is good. And that's going to give like a nice block of coppice material that will grow back and give that diversity to the area. Hopefully in time we can push up this bank a little bit more, keep pushing this back, especially given the fact that it's a bank. So the bank gives more light to the ground, which means more like ground floor, and that ultimately means more of the butterflies and then more birds and then all the way up the food chain. So yeah, I think that's it. So we'll show you in a minute. The volunteers have also been making brash bundles with the cut material. This is a really nice link up across Devon Wildlife Trust because we have got this cut on our reserve, which has given benefits to biodiversity. The volunteers have had their enjoyment cutting it, which is good for the local community. And then North Devon Natural Solutions, which is a part of Devon Wildlife Trust that focuses on water quality, will be using those brash bundles to help with river restoration works across North Devon. So yeah, it's all a nice, wholesome story. So this is one of the brash bundles I was talking about that our volunteers have been making. It's tied up with biodegradable twine because these will be used for river restoration work. They will be pegged into a river to help slow the flow. And the biodegradable twine means that we don't end up putting metal or plastic into the environment. So yeah, that's the full process really. We've cut our tree down, we've made a product with it, and now it's going to go out across North Devon to help rivers and wildlife. Yeah, across North Devon, which is what we're all about here at Devon Wildlife Trust.